So I'm an economist, everybody's favorite class in college. And my angle on this is going to be a little different, because I would have simply asked the question, is it good for the economy? Will it grow the economy? Because that's what we often hear. Tax cuts spur investment, they spur growth, they'll provide all these benefits. Is that true? The answer is it's not true, and it will harm the economy. And I'll give you 4 reasons why. First of all, any economic benefits that the economy gets in terms of higher investment are going to be outweighed by the increases in the deficit, and the increases in the debt, and the interest on that debt. Conservatives, Republicans are often supposed to say, we care about the deficit, we care about the debt, this is going to swell the debt. The costs of servicing the debt will easily outweigh any economic benefits. Secondly, it's a fact that when children grow up poor in America, they are less economically productive as adults. They have less education, they have worse health, they have more disability, they add less to the economy. So creating more poor people is actually going to detract from the economy, and we know, we have very clear economic evidence that Medicaid and SNAP, when poor kids have access to those programs, they grow up with better health, better education, more productivity, good for the economy. So my third point is that I can make a very similar argument about 2 really important tax credits, the earned income tax credit and the child tax credit. And those programs are win-win-win from an economic point of view. Number 1, they give poor people the income they need. Number 2, they improve children's schooling outcomes and health outcomes. And number 3, they incentivize people to work. They raise employment. Why on earth would we want to restrict eligibility of families to programs that create so much economic benefit? Doesn't make any sense. And lastly, okay, we often hear all this might be true, but in America we believe people should work, especially if they're able-bodied, and especially if they don't have kids. And some of the provisions in the SNAP and Medicaid changes are about so-called able-bodied adults with kids. The problem with that is that these kinds of work regs don't even do that. They don't even do that well. They don't raise, they're just not effective at raising people's employment rates. And there's a very important study that Brookings did a few years ago, Lauren Bauer and Chloe East, that showed the work regs in Medicaid and SNAP really do not raise employment very much. They don't raise employment, they raise hardship. And even the people who are working and abiding by those rules have trouble proving the administrative burden, the paperwork. People get kicked off the rolls even when they're working, and that will be the primary fact. So bottom line, is this proposal, this set of proposals, good for the economy? No, it's not. It will hurt the economy on almost every important dimension. The arguments in favor of it are completely specious. This bill should not be enacted. Thank you.